What's going on, everybody? My name is LB, the realist with Surrealistic Studios. Surreal news, surreal at night, where the real is surreal. All right, this one will be short and sweet. All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it an old honest try. I'm gonna give it the old honest try to keep it short and sweet, folks. Look, a day or so ago, I made a video. I think it was titled "The Black Situation," and I made a few points about Tim Black and about his rants and about why I agree with him partly on a few of his rants and a few of his points. Because the thing with this whole situation is Tim Black is going on a rampage, basically. He's gone nuclear. Tim Black has gone nuclear. And he's going after Kyle Kalinske, Sam Cedar, David Pakman, Jimmy Dore, Breonna Joy Gray, Nick Brana, the whole People's Party, Fred Hampton leftists. He's going after a lot of Sabby Sabs from Fred Hampton leftists. He's going after a lot of people. And a lot of his rants is unjustified to me. I don't agree with it. You know, a lot of people don't agree with it. But that's not to say that I don't agree with part of what he's saying. I agree with a portion of what he's talking about. And before I get into more into that, I just want to reiterate some of the points that I made in my previous videos, which some people may have missed and thought that it was a blanket support for everything that he's saying, and it's not. It was very specific points that I was alluding to, or that I was putting a light on. Excuse me. So I'll just quickly reiterate here. All right, the first point I wanted to bring up was the fact that Tim Black said something to the extent of he's gonna grab some Vaseline and he's gonna get all up in somebody's, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the word ASS. I understand why some people may have taken that as a sexual thing, and that he said that as if saying he was going to get some Vaseline and to do something with somebody. No, that was my first point. My first point was that that's not what he meant by that, and he didn't mean it in a way that was solely directed at Breonna Joy Gray in a sexual manner. That's not what I think happened. Not at all. That's just something people say. You know, get your Vaseline, boom, we're going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? That's what that means. And I think he was using that as a blanket statement towards everybody that he was going after, not just Breonna Joy Gray. And furthermore, why would Tim Black say something so appalling like that, specifically about a woman? That doesn't make any sense. I think people attributed that statement to just Breonna Joy Gray and try to make it seem as though he was saying that because he wanted to do something to her. And I don't think that that's right to insinuate. I think that's weird. If people took it that way, I think they need to reevaluate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just something, that's how we talk. Like, and maybe that's bad on Tim for speaking like that, you know, in plain view of people who don't understand. But then again, no, that's not his fault for that. He shouldn't be faulted for that. He should be able to speak his mind without people making it into something that it's not. You know, he's able to voice his criticisms and his disagreements with other creators and with other people in the political realm. You know, he should be able to do that without other people attributing something sexually deviant to that statement. So that's not what I think he meant by that. You know, and no, I just don't think that we should go there, because that's not what he meant. He meant we're going to get into a political fight, so let's grab the Vaseline because he's going to get in everybody. He's about to attack everybody, basically. That's what that meant. So let's leave it at that, folks. Let's leave it at that. Let's not make this out to be something that it's not, because like somebody said before, we don't need to make up stuff about people. We don't need to make up stuff about Tim Black in order to criticize Tim Black. We can criticize Tim Black based on everything that he's saying, you know, without the sexually deviant stuff or the so-called alleged sexually deviant stuff that people are attributing to him because of what he said, and that's not what he meant. So I'm hoping I'm not overcomplicating that matter too much. I'm just trying to get people to understand that we have to be careful about the things that we say about people. Of course, I know, ironic because he's going after everybody. I'm not talking about that though. I'm just saying, like, accusations like that can get taken to another level. And I think that we need to be wary before we just start throwing insinuations out like that. Really understand what a person was saying before we just, you know, throw those insinuations out there like that. Okay, that was my point number one. That's one thing I wanted to say because I felt like people were taking Tim Black's statement and trying to make him into a sexual deviant or predator or something like that. And that's when I'm jumping off the boat with y'all. I'm not going there with that. I'm not going there with that. All right. Number two, people kept saying, or some people would say, or insinuate that Tim Black was going after Breonna Joy Gray simply because she's a black woman, or she's black and because she's a woman. And now they're saying, or some people are saying, I heard in his video that some people are saying he's going after Sabby Sabs for the same reason. Excuse me. This whole situation is making me sick. No, so he's defending a black woman, Nina Turner. That's the main reason why Tim Black is mad, is because people weren't supporting Nina Turner enough. And people were attacking Nina Turner, basically saying that she wouldn't do anything even though she didn't get the job yet. That's why he's mad. Not because Nina Turner, not because Breonna Joy Gray is a black woman, not because she's black, and not because she's a woman. None of that. He's defending a black woman. How can he go after somebody because they're a black woman when he's defending a black woman? Makes no sense at all to me. So it's not a black thing. It's not a woman thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's leave that where it is too, because that's so incredibly disingenuous and backwards. Now, we do have a problem with some black people actually being racists and hating other black people. In Tim Black's case, I don't think that's what's going on here. And that's just my opinion. But I strongly advise anybody to really rethink that situation before you make accusations like that or insinuations like that, because that's just silly. That's just silly. All right, so that was another point that I made in that video. And let's see if I can remember everything that I stated. If I'm missing anything, refer back to that video, the black situation, then come watch this video. And before I even made that video, I did another video talking about the left. It's called The Left Versus Everybody. And I kind of went into more detail as far as how I specifically feel about Tim Black going after Jimmy Dore and that whole situation. But in regards to this specific situation, these are my thoughts. Now, I wanted to bring up something else, and this is why this is the black situation too. Something that I think a lot of my progressive peers or you know, counterparts, whatever, I think that a lot of us are missing. It's the fact that, and I think this actually went along with the last point that I was making in the last video too. It's the fact that, reparations and the black issues that we have are not taken seriously by progressives or liberals or anybody. Black issues like reparations, the wealth inequality, not having, you know, assets, you know, and properties to pass off to our loved ones. Those are black issues, you know, and those don't get taken seriously, you know, within the progressive realm, within the progressive community. And because of that reason, there's something that you guys should know. Tim Black is not being ratioed like we think he is. No, quite to the contrary. There's a lot of people, a lot of them being black. There is a lot of people that feel like Tim Black does. There is a lot of people that don't like Jimmy Dore. There's a lot of people who think that the People's Party, Nick Brown and the People's Party, Movement for People's Party, MPP, they really think that it's the white people's party. I know. Ridiculous to me too, right? Being that Nina Turner is in support of the of Movement for People's Party. Dr. Cornel West is actually on the advisory board of MPP, you know, Movement for a People's Party. So there's actual leaders or there's black people in positions of authority and leadership within Movement for a People's Party. You know, so that is something that I think should be highlighted. And there's a lot of support, even though people call, you know, the People's Party the White People's Party. You know, let me just say this. There's a lot more support for the way Tim Black is feeling than we realize. And we need to take that seriously. We cannot discount that. We cannot ignore that, nor can we minimize that. It's something that I've been saying. It's something that a lot of other black commentators have been saying. Our issues are not being taken seriously, and because our issues are not being taken seriously, the movement is suffering because of it. If you don't believe me, look around you. Yeah, you got a lot of black people that are on board for Movement for a People's Party. You got a lot of black people that have a lot of support for Jimmy Dore and Nick Brana and all that. There is a lot of black people who do not have support for them. And it's precisely because of the reasons that Tim Black is stating. Because our issues aren't being taken seriously. Which brings me to another point, which is, I was actually going to do a video on this before. I still may do a video on it, but I'll just, since I'm addressing it here, I'll go ahead and say this. I actually reached out to Tim Black a few weeks ago and asked him for a couple of words on the situation regarding black issues within the progressive community. He refused, well, not refused, he declined, I should say declined. That refused sounds like he was vehemently against me or something. He declined to leave a comment. He just said something to the extent of, no, I don't have anything to say at this time. Go ahead and do your thing. That's what he said. Go ahead and do your thing. And that was the only message that pretty much I think I've ever received from Tim Black on Twitter or anything. There was the time he left a message or left a comment on my YouTube video, and he actually invited me onto his show. I went to click on the comment to answer him back, and then the comment disappeared. I don't know what's going on with that. Quick side note too, Tim Black actually unfollowed me on Twitter, which I thought was pretty funny because when you follow him on Twitter, I think it's an automatic thing that he follows you back and then he sends you like a message, like an automatic message. So I was never really that jazzed when I got the follow from Tim Black because it was like, oh, well, it's automatic. Everybody's getting a follow from Tim Black. But to know the fact that he actually consciously, you know, went to Twitter and unfollowed me, like he had to manually unfollow me, like specifically unfollow me. I guess because I'm still in support of Jimmy Dore, you know, and it is what it is. Tim Black said that he doesn't want 95% percent support or 98%. He wants a 100% support. And unfortunately, you're just not going to get that with me because I don't 100% agree with him. It is what it is, you know, so whatever. But I thought that was funny. He unfollowed me on Twitter. He already said, you know, F Jimmy Dore supporters, F all his subscribers. So I did kind of take that a little personally. It hurt a little bit. Not a lot of bit, but a little bit. Because I at one point called him Uncle Tim Black, you know, like I just felt like, you know, him being an older black commentator, he was my elder in this. He's my OG is what we say in the black community. That's my OG. You know, so it's kind of weird. I don't know why he feels as though it's necessary to go scorched earth and say like, well, if you're not with me 100%, you're against me. Okay. But you alienated, you know, a lot of people, you know, myself included. I'm still subscribed to Tim Black. I still show support to him. Like, you know, like it takes a lot to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and unless he specifically says my name and goes after me, like, and just attacks me, you know, it's going to take a lot for me to just not want to watch any of his material, because there is a lot of his material that I still, you know, agree with. And again, bringing it back to the point that I was making is there's a lot of people that feel like Tim Black. He has a lot of support still. So what Tim Black is doing right now, let me just call it like I see it. He's attacking everybody right now, but he's solidifying the base that he already has. He has a strong foundation of people that support Tim Black. They've been watching him for years. They disagree with Jimmy Dore and the way he's handling, you know, the squad and the way he talks about people. And they're in support of Tim Black and what he has to say, because they understand, just like I understand, that our issues do not get taken seriously for the most part. Sometimes, you know, for the most part, Our issues are not taken seriously because people say that they're divisive. Nobody wants to talk about reparations because it's divisive. Everybody wants to talk about Medicare for all, a Green New Deal for all, a living wage for all. But what people fail to realize is that a lot of these progressive policies, even when the New Deal came out, a lot of these progressive policies didn't include black people. A lot of black people were left behind, and we're still cognizant, we're still conscious of that. And we're not trying to get left behind anymore. So one thing that I see, and I don't agree with it, but I understand where the feeling comes from, is people tearing down Movement for a People's Party or every other organization that's trying to do some good out here because they're so scared and jaded from the last time that we don't even want to let anything grow to see if it'll work. Because we're like, no, I see an inconsistency. No, you're trash. No, MPP's trash. I see a decision I didn't like. They're trash. They're corrupt. It's nothing. It's not going to work. No. We shut it down before we even get a chance to let it thrive. That's something that I disagree with. But again, I absolutely understand why. We've been so jaded before. Another reason, like, black people, we tend to have conversations with each other. And like Sabby Sab was on a show with some people, and they were discussing, I think what they said was, who hurts black people more, white men or white women? And a lot of white people were mad about it, pissed off about it. One even went as far as to make a hate video about Sabby Sabs, calling her racist. And a lot of people were in agreement. They were calling her racist because they had the nerve to talk about who hurts them more, white men or white women. And his argument was, well, if we said that about black people, who hurts us more, black men or black women? People would call us racist, and why is there a double standard? On the surface, that makes sense. But when you look deeper into it, there's more to it than that. See, black people are marginalized people. We're tortured people. We were taken from our land and brought to this land. We have no real power as a collective community. So when we don't have real power as a collective community, we are the marginalized people. When we say things like, who hurts us more, black people or white people, white men or white women, we're not saying, look, we think all white people are horrible. We think all white men and all white women are just hurting everybody. No, but we're having to very generalize, and maybe it's not right, but it is what it is because this is the way we've been taught. We usually have these conversations with ourselves. And because of the internet and YouTube, we just have these conversations publicly now. But, we have these conversations all the time within the black community. We're not talking about all white people. And if you're an ally, if you're a white ally, you have to understand that. You have to understand that, and you have to let black people talk freely. We have to be able to talk about race freely. We have to. There should be absolutely no reason why any white person should get offended by that conversation. You should be like, well, I'm not one of them. Like they're not talking about me. You should jump in the conversation and be like, well, actually, I think probably it might be white men because white men have had all the power and, they were doing this and vice versa. You just jump into the conversation. Let's start having these tough conversations. I like to say all the time, it's okay to be black. It's okay to be white. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm beautiful. I'm brown skin, light skin, whatever, but I'm black, and you white and you proud and you white and you beautiful. It's okay to be white. It's okay to love the skin that you're in. Love being white. Love your white skin. Just like I love my black skin, just like I love my brown skin. Love yourselves. There's nothing wrong with celebrating our differences. We are all the same, but we're different at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with that, folks. Celebrate your differences as much as you celebrate the same. As much as we celebrate how much we're the same, we can celebrate our differences, folks. It's okay. So I know I kind of went off on a tangent in regards to that, but it kind of goes into the black issues thing, and Sabby Sabs being called a racist, and, how black people are truly feeling. This is how black people are truly feeling. We have to have these conversations, otherwise we won't really be right. We will never be able to progress forward because we'll still have these, feelings deep inside that we're never able to properly vocalize because we're always scared of what somebody's going to say. Somebody's going to call me racist. Somebody's not going to agree with me. That's one thing that I applaud Tim Black for. Is he's doing what he thinks is right, and he's being incredibly brave for it. He really is. If you think about it, he's alienating a lot of people. He's alienating a lot of people. He's focusing on his foundation of support, the people that already agree with him. You know, and he thinks he's fighting for what for what's right, and that's admirable. You know, so it is what it is, folks, you know. So I got the biker gangs of San Diego going by me right now, excuse me. The scooter gangs of San Diego. Yeah, they like to bob in between cars and stuff. They act real silly out here. I don't know, it's their thing out here. They just ride scooters all early morning. But anyways, so again, with all that being said, folks, Tim Black has a lot more support than you realize, and we cannot forget that. We don't want to minimize the marginalized. You know, so I totally understand when he says that he's focusing on black issues because other people aren't taking those issues seriously. I get that part. That part of the conference, that part of the attacks and the debate, I get. Now, all this going against Jimmy Dore stuff, I don't get that. Unless he's saying that Jimmy Dore is the one that told him that they don't want to focus on black issues right now. Then in that case, I can understand why Tim Black feels a little jaded. I think, you know, Jimmy Dore could focus a lot more on black issues and not just police brutality. Honestly. I mean, a lot of these people like Nick Brana, MPP, you know, as the whole organization, a lot of these people it would do them a lot of good if they were to actually combine their efforts with actual black activists, you know, people that are in the black community that are focused on black issues and incorporate black issues on their white platforms. I mean, can you imagine that? Imagine if Jimmy Dore, you know, not just had Cornel West on and Nina Turner on his show, but imagine if he actually hit the streets with Black Lives Matter, or he actually involved himself with a black organization that was, you know, talking about black issues, and, you know, he was all for that. And, you know, can you imagine like the coalitions that can be formed? And that's what brought me to another point in the Left versus Everybody video that I made. Is that why is it up to small YouTubers to organize? Why aren't the big lefty shows organizing? Like, everybody's so focused on trying to do their own thing. Jimmy Dore's got his comedy career. You know, Tim Black has got his Tim Black career. You know, everybody, they'll go to certain things. They'll show up to marches and stuff. But are they really organizing, though? Are they organizing themselves? The top shows, the top lefty progressive shows, are they organized? Did they build a union of progressive shows and fight against YouTube's bullcrap? Or social, like, did they do this? No, I don't think they did. Did they organize the people? Did they organize small lefty shows? At least Jimmy Dore went on, you know, small independent shows to talk about his stuff. You know, at least he did that. But really, I mean, are they organizing commenters? All of these people that go on these videos and watch our videos, are they engaging with them in the comment section? Are they talking to them? Are they addressing specific concerns and critiques and comments the commenters leave? Are they organizing you guys in any way? At least Fred Hampton leftists talk about solutions. At least they do that. At least they talk about solutions. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that was one of my irritations, that nobody's being organized about this. Everybody's just sectioning off into their own thing because everybody has their own show and everybody wants to do their own thing. I get it. I have my own show too, and I want to have my own business, and I want to do all these things too, but I'm not opposed to organizing. I've never been opposed to joining somebody else's crusade. I've never been opposed to that. I'm a volunteer for Movement for a People's Party. You know, I've extended the olive branch to a few people, haven't really received anything back, but, you know, it is what it is. I know I say that a lot now, folks. It is what it is. And just because it is what it is doesn't mean that it is the way it has to be. Just remember that. It is what it is, but it doesn't have to be. So this is a 25-minute long video, folks. It's going to be a hell of a time trying to upload, but these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. I disagree with the overall situation. I disagree with Tim Black going after Jimmy Dore and everyone else on the basis or on the merits that we didn't support Nina Turner enough, or based off the fact that, you know, that's basically the biggest thing, is that we didn't support Nina Turner enough, and that he's speaking up for black issues and nobody else is speaking up for black issues. I actually think that one is more of a cop-out, because there are a lot of people that are speaking on black issues. You may not like how they're talking about black issues, but they're talking about it. Maybe not Jimmy Dore, maybe not Kyle Kalinske. But let's be real. He's really mad at the fact that people were criticizing Nina Turner. And the problem is, Tim Black is too close. He's too close to the situation. He's not unbiased. He's very biased, and it's apparent. It's terribly apparent. And what's even more apparent is he doesn't care. He doesn't care to be unbiased. He talks to Nina's father and her brother, and you know, he's too close with the campaign, which makes him unable to properly criticize her and to properly do his job. If his job is to speak truth to power. You know, Nina Turner can be criticized just like anybody else. And it's up to Nina Turner, not the voters. It's up to Nina Turner to come get our vote. It's up to Nina Turner to come get our support, not the other way around. And that's where Tim has it backwards. That's where he's got it twisted. And it's unfortunate that he doesn't see that, you know. But again, just to recap, the Breonna Joy Gray stuff, I don't think it's because she's black. I don't think it's because she's a woman. He said in a video today that he'll probably patch things up with her because he knows her. And again, another point that I made in my video is that I don't know any of these people, so I can't speak to you guys as a person who's in the mix. I'm speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to it from an outside position. I'm a spectator. I'm watching it all unfold. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Jimmy Dore. I don't know Tim Black. You know, so Tim Black actually knew these people. He's been in back rooms with them. I don't know what information he has that he's not divulging. To me, it sounds like this whole thing is a lot more personal than he's letting on. And I don't think it's personal in regarding black issues not being talked about. I think it's more personal than that. That's just my opinion, though. You know, the same thing I think about with Jimmy Dore and TYT and Jank. I think there's something personal that went on that we're not privy to. They're not letting us know. Again, that's my own personal opinion. All this stuff seems like it's just totally out the blue. Again, no matter how much I disagree with Tim Black's rants and what he's talking about, I can't ignore outright smears or insinuations of sexual deviance or anything like that. I can't ignore that stuff, and I won't stand for that stuff. Now, if we want to criticize Tim Black on, you know, substantial stuff and stuff that actually makes sense, then, you know, I'm all with it. I'm all for that. But not with this other stuff, no. So leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if you like. Share, subscribe, all that jazz. Love, peace, and light. All my info down below. Until the next video, remember, do some kind. Rewind. Be kind. And I'll see you later. I'm out.